Hello everybody, Glecko here, back with yet another video. So this is going to be a different type of video. I've always wanted to make a video like this on my channel, but I'm not really good with this YouTube stuff. I don't know how, I don't have the equipment to like really edit or anything like that. I do YouTube from my phone. Usually I've just been sticking to reviewing anime shows. I thought, you know what? Why don't I go ahead and make a video based on the strongest groups of like magic teams or the strongest magic groups or some of them in anime. This is in no way, shape, or form a tier list of who's stronger. This is just me showing off some of the most impressive groups I've seen. Now, I haven't watched every anime, obviously, so I'm not like a big expert on anime. So there are still some groups who might be out. If there is some people from groups that you think should be on this list, hey, to go easy on me. Give me some time. I'll probably make another one as I watch more anime, but basically, to be on this list, the characters need to be a well-known group or an established group. Secondly, they don't have to necessarily be teammates, but they do have to be able to work together and be cordial and friendly with one another. Thirdly, the people in their the actual groups the shows I brought these groups from, their in-world power system has to actually be confirmed magic. So Dragon Ball Z is out because while magic exists there, the Z fighters are not using magic, they're using ki in their world. But people in Black Clover use magic. So see what I'm saying? So that's kind of, where we're going. So and yeah, some of these groups you'll see on here, sometimes they do have like rivalries, sometimes they do they begrudgingly work together, but as long as they work together frequently or can work together, I included them. Now, there's one or two groups in here that kind of break the rules, but you know what? It's my channel, it's my video, I can do whatever. So that's kind of how I feel about that. But nonetheless, let's get on with the video with the first group. All right, the first group is going to be the 7 Grand Sorcerers from the Ice Blade Sorcerer Shall Rule the World. Now, this group has kind of had a couple changes. So in this universe, it is stated that there's like several ranks to sorcerers, with gold and platinum being the highest of the like common sorcerers, but above, with platinum being higher than gold, obviously. But above platinum, I don't remember the other lower ranks. I got a bad memory, sorry, y'all. But above platinum, there is a grand sorcerer. It is revealed that only 7 grand sorcerers can exist at a time. This is kind of crazy because well, how do you, whatever. Anyway, currently at before the start of the series, there was the Ice Blade Sorcerer, the Spellbinding Sorcerer, the Blaze Sorcerer, the Peerless, and during the show we learned of 2 more sorcerers: the Peerless Blade Sorcerer and the Sorcerer of Fabrication. They're revealed towards the middle and end of the first season. Hopefully, Ice Blade Sorcerer gets another season. I just want to put that out there. But anyway, this group also went through a little bit of change because the original Ice Blade Sorcerer, her name was Lydia Amesworth. She was in the army along with the Blaze Sorcerer Abby Garnet and the Spellbinding Sorcerer Carol Caroline. So see, they work together. They're the only ones who actually work together. This is kind of cheating, but I really like this group, so shut up. They're on the list. Anyway, she finds a little orphan boy named Ray White. She takes him in, and she realizes his magic aptitude, and she trains him, and she makes him the new Ice Blade Sorcerer, so she steps down. So the current roster is Ray White as the Ice Blade Sorcerer, Carol Caroline, who's in the skimpy suit with the finger holding up there. She's the Spellbinding Sorcerer. You got Abby Garnet, the Blaze Sorcerer. Then you have the Sorcerer of Fabrication and the Peerless Blade Sorcerer. Now, the Peerless Blade Sorcerer he's kind of like gunning for the Ice Blade Sorcerer. He wants to fight him to prove he is the better sorcerer or he's the more stronger sorcerer. So, yeah. All of these people are extremely strong, right? Every Grand Sorcerer absolutely demolished any and all sorcerer who opposed him throughout the series. Like, it was a sight to behold. The Peerless Blade Sorcerer actually, he's just like Ray White. He's a student at school. He went in and he won a competition very easily. Ray White was constantly just beating people around. Like, these guys are just awesome and overpowered, and I love them. The 7 Grand Sorcerers, everybody. So let's go ahead and get on to the next group, and that is going to be none other than the original non-Magic Knight captains from Black Clover. God, I love this series. All the series I loved, they ended for some odd reason. What they ended early, didn't get many seasons. But anyway, the original nine Magic Knight captains. You got Yami Sukahiro of the Black Bulls with his dark magic. You got Nozel Silva, racist piece of crap, with his Mercury magic. You got Fagolion, slightly less racist piece of crap, with his flame magic. William Vengeance, who's hiding a dark secret with his Idrisil magic, and I guess you can count Padre with his light magic. You got Dorothy Unsworth with her dream magic, which was honestly a weird one for me, but I came around to it. Charlotte Rosalie, sexist as all can be, with her Briar magic. Jack, you got Jack with his severing magic. You got Gilderoy Poisot with his what do you permeation magic. There it is. Then you got Real Bormortier with his paint magic. This is probably one of the most versatile groups on this list. Heck, if it wasn't for the last entry on this list, I would say they were the most versatile group. But they're definitely, I mean, like I said, this isn't a ranking list. This isn't who's stronger, who's weaker. But this group is definitely up there. Like, they're either 2 or 3, if not 1. They are strong. And I'm using the original, the OG, 9. I don't know. There's not many people who could boss up to all these guys and fight them. Heck, there's not even many groups who could do that. The sheer versatility in their magic is just impressive in and of itself. And one thing about Jack, the lanky looking, praying mantis looking guy, in this universe there are commoners and there are there are nobles and royals. Commoners have very little magic to where they can't really be a soldier. Jack is actually born a commoner, so the fact that he was a commoner yet he worked his way up to a Magic Knight, Magic Knight status, is just it's just amazing. Like I kind of look up to him for that one, if I'm being brutally honest with you. In this universe, at the beginning of the series, every Magic Knight captain had more power. They were more powerful than 100 mages. I mean, like they were basically small armies on their own, and they've all only gotten stronger since the series progressed. So they are unbelievable monsters in terms of power. Now, the Magic Knight captains actually did go through a little bit of a roster change, as Gilderoy Poisot will eventually get replaced with Kaiser, who has Vortex magic. Marileona took over for Fagolion when he got injured for a bit. That was really the only change. But yeah, the Magic Knight captains, one of my favorite groups. On to the next injury. And the next group is actually in Black Clover as well. This is the 8 Shining Generals. Now this group kind of this hurts my soul right here. So the 8 Shining Generals. Okay, so in Black Clover there are 4 kingdoms. Well, there are more than 4, but there are 4 main kingdoms. There's Heart, Clover, Diamond, and Spade. The the 8 Shining Generals come from the Diamond Kingdom. The 9 Magic Knight captains are in the Clover Kingdom. They were kind of enemies at the beginning of the series. The 8 Shining Generals are the Diamond Kingdom's equivalent to the Magic Knight captains. Unfortunately, they weren't really shown. The Diamond Kingdom lost a bunch. Like every time they got conquered by the Spade Kingdom. Xenon went down there by himself, beat 2 of their Shining Generals. Asta defeated 2 generals, though he had help beating Mars in the beginning. He defeated Ladros, another general, but nonetheless, the 8 Shining Generals are very powerful. We don't know much about these guys. Most of them are unnamed. We only know of 2. Technically, there's not even 8 of them, because there was some old generals who. So all the current generals who you see on the screen here, they were all enhanced. They were given scientific modifications to make them more powerful. So in Black Clover, each mage can only have 1 attribute. Yet Mars, who has the spiky hair there, he's close to the shadow guy. He's the skinny one. He has 2 attributes. He has flame and mineral. Then you got Ladros, who has no magic affinity, but he was granted the ability to absorb all magic, so he can nullify any mage after him. Those 2 are really the only ones we know about. The other 2 are unnamed, but we know they have wind and fire magic. We learned that from the Spade Kingdom arc, and we've never even seen the guy in the back, and we probably never will, unfortunately, because of the state of Black Clover. It's just when I it sucks. Like I think Tabata has said on he has had it stated on numerous occasions that the current eight shining generals, these are the strongest variations of the generals, and that they are the par with Magic Knight captains. I think they are, but it's just unfortunately they lost so much and they've had such poor showings. Most people don't even care about them no more or take them seriously, which I find just awful because enhanced generals. It's just, and it's not even eight of them. It's only five right now because they killed three generals of the old generation who weren't enhanced or early on. But the eight shining generals very powerful. Wish I could have seen more from them. I'm still a big fan. They had a black guy for crying out loud. That struck a chord with me, man. I didn't think I'd see a black person in this series, and I was happy I did. Unfortunately, I think he's dead now. He, along with the fat general, were unnamed. So it would have been cool at least to see, what his, we know what his attribute was, but it would have been cool to see, what kind of scientific modifications he had. This guy he had flame magic. That was about it. So, as you can tell by my voice, I'm kind of getting depressed from talking about this because it's just like, man, the Diamond Kingdom having enhanced mages. That just, I was so intrigued by that at first. Like I was hyping the Diamond Kingdom up, man. And I'm just so sad that what happened to him. But hell, I'm gonna respect the Shining Generals to the day I die, and that's all it is. Let's get on to the next group. All right, and our next group is going to be a group I learned about relatively recently, and that is the Magia Vander from Wistoria Wand and Sword. So in this world, the world is constantly under attack by some entity from beyond who's bringing darkness and chaos to the world. Five very powerful mages rose up and they created a barrier in a false sky which repelled the dark force, the invader or whatever, and they have a magical barrier going. So there's like in this world, there's this giant tower in the middle of this city, and people, mages, they go to school, they practice, and they get stronger. You have to, people who are certain like distinguished and certain and like very powerful, they go up to the tower, and in the tower you do different things. But the strongest of you can rise to Magia Manor. In fact, the lady with the blue hair who's at the top of the screen, and I'm sorry, I couldn't find a better picture than this. The lady who's at the with the blue hair, she actually became a Magia Event. She's the youngest person to ever become a Magia Eventer. Like when she was just in her first year of school, she became a Magia Eventer. And it was later revealed that there's this guy. So in this world, there's a guy who can't use magic at all. It's one of these series like Black Clover, where there's someone who can't use magic. But in this series, the guy named Will Surford, he's battling this very, very powerful mage named Julius. Julius is one of the top three people at his school. Julius uses one of the Ice Maiden's spell, as she has created more spells than anybody. I think she created 12 spells. By being proficient with magic and earning a lot of credits and writing, spell casting, and all stuff, you can rise up the tower, or you can rise up the tower by making more spells, like by creating your own spells, because that kind of puts your that puts your name in like history and all that. But anyway, Julius uses one of the Ice Maiden spells that he had been practicing with for like years, I believe. And Julius was like I said, he's an upperclassman. Will easily finds a way around the spell because Will actually grew up with the Ice Maiden. And basically, when Julius asks him, how did you get past this spell so easily? Will goes, dude, she made that when she was 2. And he kind of like depressed Julius because Julius was like, wow, I spent so long on this and I was so happy. But for a Magia Vander, this is child's play. So and like I said, Julius was very powerful. Julius could take on a whole army by himself if he wanted to. So that just goes to show you just how powerful the Magia Vander are. Yeah, that just goes to show you just how powerful the Magia Vander are. Now, the Magia Vander, it seems like they go through, rotating, rosters or so, because Elf, like I said, the girl on the far left, her name is the Ice Maiden, Elfie or Ellis or something. She apparently, I mean, I guess she took the place of someone because Julius was saying in his battle with Will that he wants to replace the Iceman. So I guess if you get strong enough or if you surpass the current Magi Evander, you can replace them. Honestly, it's a relatively new series, so I don't read manga. I can only watch the anime. So I don't know too much about how it works, but it seems like, there can be, new people can come, new people can go. So like the people can come and go as Magi Evander if they meet the certain qualifications. Right now we only know of four. There's supposed to be five, but the fifth one has disappeared. So I'm really looking forward to this next episode of Wisteria Wand and Sword that's going to be releasing today. Because at the time of this recording, it's like 5 in the morning. About 8 or 9, the next Wisteria episode should drop. Hopefully, if all tracks. So yeah, Magi Evander, pretty cool. There's one who can manipulate lightning. There's one who can manipulate fire. There's an elf who uses illusions, I believe, and then there's the blue-haired lady, Ellis or something. She can manipulate ice. So, speaking of which, I'm really wondering what kind of power up the main character Will Surfort is gonna get in this show, because he is nowhere near the level of a Magi Evander from what I've seen in the last episode. But all right, on to the next. All right, next up, we got the Divine Visionaries from Mashley, Magic, and Muscles. Yet another show about a world where magic is everything and people without magic are nothing. Speaking of which, there are three. There are three. So the Black Clover, the Magic Knights, H.R. Generals, from the people from Black Clover, the Magi Evander from Wisteria Wand and Sword, and now the Divine Visions from Mashley, they all have that same premise. This in their world, magic is everything. If you don't have magic, you are absolutely nothing. You deserve to die. And then there's main characters who can't use magic. I'm planning to do a video about that, hopefully in the future if I can remember. But anyway, and another side note, in terms of like the magic system, Mashley has better magic because you got personal magic that you can use, but you also got like common magic. But anyway, onto the actual video. So the Divine Visionaries. I don't know most of their names. All I know is the guy named Caldo, who is, I couldn't get them all on the screen. So you see the girl, like in the green square below her, that's Caldo. There's Ortor, who's like a sand person. I'll show them at the end. And then there's Rain Ames, the Sword King. We actually meet Rain Ames relatively early on, but we don't meet the rest of the Divine Visionaries until the main character is found out to not have magic, and he's put on trial, so to speak. Was he put on trial? Yes, he was. Yeah, he was put on trial for not having magic. So this is where they are interesting. I don't know much about them, but I know they have to be relatively powerful because we see an examination towards the end of the second series. There's a tournament to discover who's going to be the next Divine Visionary. In this tournament, we saw just a sample of how powerful a lot of these people actually were, of some of the candidates they chose. So Divine Visionaries are on par with some of the top candidates, like Mash, the main character, some other guys. So they are relatively powerful, though I do think they are the weaker beings in this series. Like the big bad of the series, Innocent Zero, he showed up and he actually froze two of them along with an entire crowd. So, and not, but nonetheless, these guys actually do seem to be some of the more ruthless or more mean-spirited ones, as they were all actually, most of them, not all of them, sorry, most of them were in favor of killing Mashley, the main character, because he didn't have magic. Though the one who wielded light magic, the guy who was at the top left of the screen on the previous slide, he actually was on Mashley's side. So they're not all bad. Or in the Sword King, Rain Ames wasn't either. They aren't all bad, but they are pretty bad. Like, I did not like these guys at all. I don't know much about them. I don't know their names. Or I might have learned most of their names, but I don't remember them. We haven't seen most of their attributes yet. Hopefully, Mashley gets to season 3, so we can see more what all the Divine Visionaries can do. But yeah, that's pretty much them. They suck ass. Okay, in the next group, we have the Ultimate Magicians from Sorry, that's our air conditioner. From Wise Man's Grandchild. And please excuse me for cussing earlier. A few seconds ago. Y'all don't cuss. It's not right to cuss. But anyway, we got So Wise Man's Grandchild is basically about a story about a person who got, I believe he got reincarnated. I saw this anime maybe about a month ago or so, about a boy who gets reincarnated into this other world. I was kind of, he gets found by this wise mage or whatever. I was really into this show until it came to realize that this show really just it was doing okay, and then it just dropped off for me. But I finished it because I'd already started watching it, and there was some plot points I wanted to see. The ultimate magicians were trained by the main character, who is a prodigy at magic, primarily due to the fact that he got reincarnated. I believe he got reincarnated. Please don't hold me to it. And he was able to use his previous knowledge of Earth or wherever else he came from, and that fueled his magic or whatever. He then taught. He went to school after living as a hermit with his grandpa and grandma. He goes to school, and his classmates, they get swept up into this war, so he trains them and they become very overpowered. The ultimate magicians, despite being mere high schoolers, they were able to stop an entire army of half human, half demon, or maybe they're full demon, demonoid creatures from destroying an entire kingdom. And towards the end of the series, they set off to go unite all the kingdoms to battle the oncoming demon horde. In this show, the main villain, we'll get to him next because his group is after this. So let's go ahead and get to him now. The next group is the Demonoids. I didn't really like the Ultimate Magicians. I like the main character, but I don't want to talk about that. That gets me mad. But the next group, and this is from the same show, Wise Man's Grandchild, are the Demonoids. So there was once a man who lived in a kingdom opposite of the kingdom the main character was born into or reincarnated into. He was a peaceful man, but in his world, the nobles they were stuck up. They hated commoners. They exploited commoners, but he didn't do that. He fought for the good of commoners. He wanted them fair pay. He treated them right. The nobles betrayed him, tricked the commoners tricked them into believing that he had kidnapped some innocent women and was, and then they had the commoners go to his house and kill his pregnant wife. When the man got here, the man was very he was an adept with magic. The pure rage he felt and just the vengeance he wanted turned him into a demonoid. Now, in this show, when you turn into a demonoid, you generally lose your sense of self. But he didn't. He was an exception. So he killed all the commoners who were there. He would then go about his plan for destroying the kingdom that betrayed him and the commoners. He hated everybody. So this guy was an equal opportunist, equal rights, equal left. But he goes, he kills all the royals, he kills all the nobility. This is after he sets up his plan, but he goes around first, learning how to turn people into demonoids to give them power. What makes the demonoids so impressive is they're an army mainly comprised of enhanced commoners. He didn't enhance any nobility. And then there's the three people here who are like the generals. But they actually defeated an entire army. You had people who were mere farmers and average run-of-the-mill people able to beat fully trained soldiers. They toppled they toppled two kingdoms, their own kingdom, and then they toppled an enemy kingdom when they were trying to lure out the main character for a battle. So the fact that this is an evil group who actually accomplished their main goal, and they're very powerful, is why I really wanted to put them on the list, because I was blown away. Because towards the end of the series, or the first season, the big bad was like, you guys can actually go ahead and leave now. You don't have to join me. We've already destroyed the kingdom. Now I've gotten pretty much whatever. I've gotten what I wanted. And the big bad wasn't actually going to do anything until his subordinates got him into a fight. So now next up is Orichalcum Fist from the Osan Nubi adventurer trained to death by the strongest party became invincible. Dang, that's a mouthful. I actually did a review to this show a couple days ago. It's the video right after this, or right before this. So basically, in this world, it's this world with like adventurers and parties, and you know those type of world. There is this party called Orichalcum Fist. They are the strongest on the continent. Every member of the party is S rank, which is the highest rank. Now, the girl in the blue here, she's not a part of the party yet, but I have a feeling in the next season she will be, because she's going to go to them and be trained. But you got Broston, who's the orc at the very back. You got the vampire child. You got the guy, the person beside him. I forgot most of their names. He's like a half dwarf, half elf person. Then you got the dark elf Renate. And then you got the guy in the very front here, Rick Gladiator. He's a human, but he's a 30-year-old man who decided to go be an adventurer after, you know, X amount of years or whatever. He he's right now, I would say he's the weakest of the group, but obviously eventually he'll be the strongest. They each member in this team wields an impressive amount of magic, but some of them have specialties in other areas. Like Broston is an orc built with a extremely tough body. You got Renate, who has like she's like very precise with like her like she can make like little slash attacks and stuff. You got the dark elf lady who's just pure magical power, but then you got the half elf, half dwarf who is a tinkerer. He makes all type of weapons and stuff. And then you got Rick Gladiator who's just kind of nothing. But every single one of them can use elemental magics. Some of them can use teleportation, flight. Broston can bring people back from the dead, the orc. Like, dude can literally kill you, then bring you back to life, which he does to Rick several times while Rick is training. Rick went from a nobody to an S class in 2 years thanks to Broston's training. So Orichalcum Fist is a force to be reckoned with. And last but certainly not least, the Fairy Tale Guild from Fairy Tale. I'm not even going to explain this one. It kind of explains itself. I mean, let me take this time to explain why I picked the groups I picked. I picked groups. Listen, I'm a person who loves superpowers and magic. Like I'm constantly daydreaming and fascinated by magic, magical beings, people, all that. I daydream that I have powers all the time. I've always geared and love. I've always geared towards magic and superpowers, and I love magic and superpowers. I put these groups on this list because these are people who just their sheer power or personalities or a mix of both caught my attention. Fairy Tale has everything. They've got powerful mages. They've got unique characters, bonds. Like Fairy Tale was the first anime I watched from start to finish, like the entire thing. Like I watched every episode of the original anime, and yeah, Fairy Tale has a special place in my heart. It's the first anime that I watched from start to finish. I know pretty much all the characters. I'm not going to explain much about their powers and who they are because, everyone pretty much knows Fairy Tale, but I love them so much, and it's such a big guild and such a diverse group of magic. What's the point of me even really talking about it? So, Fairy Tale, the Fairy Tale Guild, all its mages, Natsu, Mirajang, Gloxus, Urza, all of them. Awesome. This is Glecko. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I had so much fun making it. It wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. Sorry I rambled on a bunch, but hey, I'm going to go ahead and put the picture of Rain Ames, the Sword King, and Caldo on them so you can see from the Divine Visionary. So if you remember that, good job. If not, no hard feelings. See you later. Okay, so there are the three at the very bottom here. The one in the red, that's Caldo. The one with the sword, that's the Sword King, Rain Ames. And the one with the rocks pebble, that's called Ortor, the sand guy. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I had, like I said, so much fun making it. This is Glecko, and I'll see you back with more and hopefully better content in the future.